Okay, folks, thanks for bearing with me there. Now we're ready to go. We've got two more examples that we're going to do. Example number 7 says simplify. Simplify. All right? Now, hey, let me ask you this. Just a little question. How many terms do you see? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many terms are up here? A little bit of a trick question. You guys are learning a lot. I love it. I love it. Vivian, what do you think?
3.
Nope. Moreau? Nope. Allie?
4.
No. No. Elizabeth?
1.
Yes. 1. There's no adding or subtracting up there. Remember, terms are only separated by adding and subtracting. Hang on, we're gonna pause. Okay. Now, what do I need to do here first? Remember when it says simplify? Simplify always means use PEMDAS. Okay. What should I do first here, Evan? All right, let's look inside the parentheses. All right, can I do anything inside these parentheses, Evan? No. How about inside these? Okay, so nothing to do inside the parentheses. They're just separating things that need to be multiplied or divided, okay? All right, so nothing inside the parentheses. What's the next thing that I check on, Rowan? Exponents. Do you see any exponents, Rowan? No. What's the next thing that I check on, Aiden? Multiplication and division. Do you see any up here?
Yes.
Well, which one should I do first?
-2
Okay. Do I always do multiplication first?
Yes. Oh, or division. Depending on which one comes first.
Okay, so Aiden said he does multiplication or division, whichever one comes first. And in this case, multiplication is coming first, okay? So Aiden, go ahead and tell me, what is -2 times -14? Positive 28, because remember, a negative times a negative gives me a positive, okay? Now, what do I get when I divide a positive by a negative? Jenna? I'm going to get a negative. And 28 divided by -7 is what, Alan? -4. Everybody good with that? Make sense? Good. All right. Math has to make sense. Math should be called sense, because it always makes sense. If it doesn't, it's not math. That does not mean that it's easy, but it always makes sense. All right, let's look at the next one. Oh, really? That's it? Oh, and describe. Okay, here we go. So we got two things that we need to do. We need to plot this point, and then we need to describe the location of the point. Okay, now Elise is going to help me plot it. Elise, they want us to plot this point V. They've given it a name V. Okay, -4, -1. How do I do that? Okay, so we've got this is the X, and this is the Y, right? And you're saying that this is the X coordinate. All right, so what do I do with that? To the left or to the right? Okay, so I'm going to the left. 1, 2, 3, -4. Okay, did that. Now what? I'm going to go down 1 because the Y is -1, and on the Y-axis, negative is down. So I went back 4 and down 1. I'm going to put a dot right there. Okay, and Elise, since they gave me a name for it, I'm going to put a little D right there. So I'll know that's point B. Okay, now, it says describe the location of this point. Well, where is this point? What does that mean, Emma? It's in the third what? It's in the third quadrant, okay? So, just put a Roman numeral 3, because the names of quadrants are always written in Roman numerals, okay? So V is in the third quadrant. Now, just to help us here, just to review right before I end this, okay? This is the third quadrant. I'll write it in a different color. This is the third quadrant. Okay, good. Which quadrant is that one? Can you tell me which quadrant that one is, Barrett? That's the first quadrant, so I'm going to write it as a Roman numeral 1. Okay. What about that quadrant right there? What is that, Maria? Second quadrant, so I write it as a Roman numeral. Okay. Man, the Romans, it must have been hard to add and subtract with Roman numerals. It was hard, in fact. Elizabeth, there's one last one that's open. What is it?
That's 4, you wrote I-V.
IV. Okay? That's fourth quadrant. Everybody good with that? You feel good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. I think we've covered everything that we need to go over for the test tomorrow. That doesn't mean that you only have 8 problems on the test, but this is covering all the general ideas that will be on the test. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right.